Hi everyone, today we're doing a full deep dive into NotebookLM for 2026. It's still one of the best tools out there on the market. Let's get into it. Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to research on using NotebookLM, some of the new tools that are there, how to create infographics, how to create video overviews, how to create spreadsheets, and how we can use what we've gathered in NotebookLM to go and then work within Gemini. All of that's coming. Let's jump into NotebookLM. So you jump into NotebookLM at notebooklm.google. Simple as that. It's free to use. Really, really cool. So this is what NotebookLM looks like. You've got everything there. So some featured notebooks that other people have created. The Economist, something on travel there from NotebookLM. OpenStax have got a biology notebook, and there's one on arts and culture. So Eric Topol's done the secrets of super ages, and there's a whole load for you to explore there. And then you've got my notebooks here. So these are the ones I've done. As you can see, I am a big user of NotebookLM. Really, really useful if you're doing research. So let's go in and create a new notebook. And you've got a series of things that you can do now with NotebookLM. You could just put in a search here for new web searches. And if you're doing a fast piece of work, if you're doing a relatively light piece of work on something that's happened recently, then just do the fast research. If you want to do a much more detailed bit of research, then you can click here and use deep research. I'm going to use deep research. What I said is, so I want to create a notebook on the potential for an AI tech bubble burst, and you just set it going. We'll search the web. You can actually, if you want, just have it search from your own drive, but we're going to search the web. And rather than me go through and find all the documents, I'm going to let NotebookLM do it. Let's see what we get when we get back. Okay, so it found 31 sources, top 31 sources, and I can import those. Here we go. And it's got a whole series of sources. It's got one here that it won't let me import. It's probably because it's behind a paywall. Got a series here, which is fine. So we've got our untitled notebook. So you just go up here and change the title. AI Tech Bubble. It's even given me a little icon for it. These reports and discussions examine the massive growth and potential volatility of the global artificial intelligence market heading into 2025 and 2026. So here is a very nice summary. And of course, as always, just close this off. As always, what you can do is then ask questions of these sources. So all of these sources here, the 30 odd sources that have been put in. And it gives you some suggestions. How do current capital expenditures and private funding levels compare to previous bubbles? In what way are global trade policies and tariff reforms reshaping venture strategies? Does artificial intelligence primarily augment human labour or threaten significant long-term structural unemployment? A whole series of questions that you can ask there. And if you want to add in additional documents, you could just drag them in. But we've got a whole load there. I'm going to start by saying, when might we see the AI tech bubble burst? So we've got all of those documents in there, and it will go through them and work out an answer based on the documents that I put in there. Okay, so here we've got our research back. Based on the provided sources, the timeline for a potential AI tech bubble burst is currently framed by analysts as either a valuation reset that begins in late 2025 or a more severe structural correction that could occur in 2026 or later. And talked about an autumn chill, the inflection points, the shift, current status. Great stuff. Really quick, really interesting. Let's try some other things. Okay, let's go for a mind map first. Generate a mind map. And one of the cool things about NotebookLM is you can actually start a whole load of things going. So you also got a series of reports, and it's now just loading some report suggestions. So create your own briefing document, study guide, blog posts. These ones will come in. Investment thesis, market analysis, concept explainer, key terms and glossary. So let's create a blog post around that. So it's creating that. It's already done my mind map. Next thing we can do is flashcards. So if you wanted to learn about this, you could create a series of flashcards. Let's have a look at what it produces. I'm not sure this is quite the subject for that. You can also create a quiz. Fantastic. And one of the really cool things now is an infographic. So let's have a look at what the infographic looks like and a slide deck. And now really cool, you can create a data table. So I'll set all those going. As we come back, as they finish, we will go and have a look at them. But let's have a look at the overview on the mind map. Let's have a look at the mind map. So 2026 AI trade market outlook. Move this around. So you've got the AI bubble debate, bubble indicators, counter arguments. And when you get the information, it actually then pulls out the sources for you so you can see it. Just jump this up a bit. Real earnings growth. Let's have a look at real earnings growth. So here it goes, strong fundamentals versus dot-com speculation. So comparing it with what happened in the dot-com bubble, primary counter-argument is a stark contrast between the financial health of today's AI leaders and the companies of the dot-com era. So real earnings and cash flow. So unlike the late 90s, where 86% of tech IPOs were unprofitable, today's AI boom is led by cash-rich incumbents, the Magnificent Seven. We know who they are. These companies possess fortress balance sheets and generate massive free cash flow, allowing them to fund infrastructure and build out from their own pockets rather than relying on speculative debt or IPOs. Really helpful. And of course, you can go back into this. You can explore structural constraints. I expect it's got energy in there as well. Just have a look. Energy infrastructure, technical plateaus, investment strategies, defensive reallocation, sector picks, global geopolitics. I expect it's talking about China and US dominance risks, and then economics risks as well. Rapid GPU obsolescence, rising corporate debt, potential job displacement, universal basic income concerns. So a really clever way, and you can go into more depth in most of these, a really clever way of visualizing your data, visualizing the topic that you're trying to learn about, that you're researching, that you're reporting on, etc. Really, really useful. And NotebookLM is as good as it comes. And it's free. Remember, it's free. Really fantastic. So we've had a look at the mind map, still generating the slide deck. Let's have a look at the tables it's produced. So it has produced 2026 defensive investment picks and AI market outlook. So NVIDIA, Airbus, Rheinmetall AG. So it's picked a whole series of places you could potentially invest in. And it gives you the source that's there based on 32 sources. And you can export this to sheets and then start working on it. Really useful. I think that's one of the things that's really improved with NotebookLM over the last 6 months, really. It's interconnectivity with other tools. Go back to have a look at what Flashcards produced. According to Deloitte, what recent policy changes making venture capital more selective and causing founders to pivot to creative cost control tactics. Let's flip for the answer. Tariff reforms. What 3 non-financial topics are investors increasingly looking at founders to speak confidently about, according to Heather Gates of Deloitte? Sourcing strategy, trade compliance, and tariff exposure. Very, very cool. And then we have a infographic, the AI gold rush. Are we in a bubble? Investment frenzy, AI spending. Only 5% of companies see real value from AI. 202.3 billion invested in AI in 2025. We've got spending, OpenAI's capital to revenue ratio 70-1. 75% year-on-year increase, representing nearly 50% of all global venture funding going into AI. 75% of S&P 500 gains driven by AI stocks. Cheaper alternatives are winning. Open source, etc. Legacy models, data center queues, 5 to 8 year wait for the energy grid to keep up. So how cool is that? How cool is that? From those sources, it's produced this beautiful picture. You could throw this into a slide. You could use it to present to. Fantastic. And then here is my blog. Is AI a bubble? The real story is weirder and more dangerous than you think. That makes you want to read it, doesn't it? I'll go through that, see whether that's worth me editing and adding more information into. Let's have a look. Have we got the slide? No, the slide deck's still there. I'll come back when the slide deck's done. Okay, we've got our slides. Let's have a look. AI boom, bubble risk. Wow. The AI paradox, navigating the $1 trillion boom and its bubble risk. An analytical briefing on the forces shaping the 2026 AI landscape. Market, growth trajectory. Torrent of capital is reshaping the venture landscape. How cool is this? You can download these slides. You can start a slideshow. Really, but really cool. How good is this? Fantastic. Really strong. Okay, now what we haven't done is the audio overview and the video overview. So audio overview, I think we've seen that before. It creates the ability to, it creates a podcast about what you're talking about, which would be really interesting to listen to. So certainly if I'm going somewhere, I might create myself a podcast based on the information I'm trying to learn and then listen to it in the car. That's really cool. And also a video overview. So let's have a look at what these produce. Okay, we have got our audio overview, still generating the video overview. It can take a little bit of time. Time to go up and have a cup of tea, etc. That's about the time it takes. Okay, so we've got our audio overview. I'll put my earphones on so that when it's playing, you can hear it, but my microphone can't, and then it doesn't give you feedback, which is very annoying. Let's start from scratch.
Welcome
Let's
to the
see
Deep
what we've
Dive,
got.
where we take the sources you share with us, the proprietary reports, the late night reading, the research stack, and, well, we try to turn it all into clarity.
Glad to be here.
Today,
You've
we are
given me a
plunging right into
17-minute
the
audio
financial
overview.
frenzy that really defined late 2025. I'm talking about the AI investment boom.
Right.
And for months, I mean, the only question anyone in the market seems to be asking is whether this is a genuine, structural tech shift, or if we're just riding a bubble that feels disturbingly familiar.
Time.
Now, one of the things you can do now,
provided us with a fantastic collection of sources for this. We've got
one
Deloitte
of the things you can
analysis,
do
some
now
really
is you can
aggressive financial
interact with
analyst
it.
reports.
So
And they really
press interactive here. You can join
Whoa,
it.
did someone just break the fourth wall? Let's hear it.
When do we expect the bubble to burst, do you think? Will it happen now, or will it happen in 5 years' time, or will it never happen?
That is the $1 trillion question.
And we love that question.
Because honestly, that's what all these analysts are trying to figure out.
And the short answer is we don't know the timing.
We don't. We will only know for sure in retrospect.
But our sources really dive into this.
How cool is that? By clicking here, you can download your overview and then you can listen to it whenever you want. Really, really cool. I think the audio overviews are really well worth having. They are, I don't know, they're just really, really useful if you wanted to learn something. Like if you're going to bed at night and you want to just go into a subject, having the audio overview is really, really cool. You can go to sleep listening to it, sort of wake up like knowing the information. Really good. Jump into our video overview. Kept my earphones on.
Right now, there is a storm brewing at the very heart of the global economy, and it's all about artificial intelligence. You've got the true believers on one side saying we're witnessing a revolution as big as the internet itself. And on the other, you've got the skeptics. They're all warning that we are in a massive speculative bubble that is just about to pop. So, which one is it? Well, that's what we're going to dig into today. To get a sense of the sheer scale we're talking about, I want you to just take a look at this number, $4.6 trillion. Now, that is not the value of the entire AI industry. Oh no, that's the market cap of just one company at the absolute epicenter of this boom, NVIDIA. And when you see numbers this astronomical, you really have to ask, are we really at the start of a whole new industrial era? A fundamental change in how everything works? Or have we all just bought into a massive hype cycle, inflating prices to a point where a crash...
How cool is that? There we go. All the latest from NotebookLM. If you want to add extra sources in, you can. If you want to add your own notes in, you can. You can add these in as notes if you've done any work. Really, really powerful, really powerful. You can also share your notebooks with other people here. And if you've shared it with 4 or more people and they've been working on it, you'll get analytics about what they've done with that notebook. Okay, so I said I would show you how you can link NotebookLM to Gemini. So here we are in Gemini. And what you can do here is you can add files. And instead of uploading files or from your drive or photos or importing code, you can now add in from NotebookLM. And we can produce the text bubble there. You can add and then say, and then what I want to do is use some tools. So let's use Canvas. What I've said is, please create an interactive website around the tech bubble. I put Canvas on using fast, see what we get. It'll take a little bit of time, a minute or 2, I think. This is the power of being able to link NotebookLM with Gemini. You can use all the power of Gemini, and I can tell you it is very, very powerful. But use all of the information that you put in through NotebookLM you've gathered and curated in NotebookLM. Fantastic. Here we go. AI Bubble Navigator, dashboard, expert perspectives. It's even got Sundar saying the risk of underinvesting is much greater than the risk of overinvesting in AI. And then you've got Jensen from NVIDIA. The world is undergoing 3 massive platform shifts at once: CPUs to GPUs, generative AI, and agentic AI. So that's the positive cases, the bull case, and the bear case. Hyperscalers are understating depreciation of AI assets by billions. So the fact that the GPUs get old quick, so you're going to have to keep investing if you want to stay up. And we're hitting a scaling law plateau. Making models bigger doesn't make them smarter, from Gary Marcus. Very cool. Let's have a look at the comparison. .com bubble, AI revolution. Cool is this? And the risks, valuation multiples, profitability, infrastructure, energy wall, circular financing. They're all investing in each other. How cool is that? All right. So there's NotebookLM. It's still one of the best tools for research. You can now do so much more with it. The interactive features of it, whether it's the audio overviews or the visual overviews, the ability to create slides, the ability to create infographics, really good. And now you can throw all of that work into Gemini and you can do all sorts of extra things by using the power of Gemini. Really, really powerful. I hope you found that video useful. Please drop me a like and a subscribe if you have, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye for now.